serve, but a pretty good-looking strip promised a reasonable balance between bat and ball if you were prepared to work hard. Undeterred by the failure of his decision to bat first at Christchurch, Sri Lanka skipper Mahela Jayawardene made the same choice when he called correctly on day one. Despite the failure of his middle order, he also named an unchanged team, giving a second opportunity to Chamara Silva despite his pair on debut. And after his first Test century, Sangakkara again left the keeping duties to Prasanna Jayawardene. New Zealand saw no need to change their winning formula, the same 11 taking the field and the new ball as they had done in Christchurch. So let's get to the action. We will join play early in the Sri Lankan first innings.
So, first ball of the second Test match, and Bond bowling to Tauranga. Oh, that's a beauty. And a little bit of swing too from the pace bowler, away from the left-hander. Big appeal. Just the impression was it hit him outside the line. But certainly clearing the throats early on.
Well, that's always the impression with Chris Martin, is pitching outside the line. It's a marginal thing, and also whether he actually was going to go on and hit the stumps. The thing about Chris Martin is that he's always taking it away from the left-hander. Of course, he's always the exception to the rule, but predominantly the ball is going to miss the off stump. Now, it pitched outside, and it probably missed off. Good decision.
And he's gone. An early wicket. Fleming takes the catch at first slip, and Martin strikes early.
Superb bowling, really good early on to bring the batsman forward, and you can see that the bat is open. It is angled towards the slips. I mean, it is such a basic error by Jayasuriya. Comfortable catch to Fleming, and that is an excellent start for Chris Martin. Jayasuriya naught. It's 0 for 1.
He got this very fine, and that will be a boundary. Got it away with a little bit of difficulty, but nevertheless kept over the top of it. So the first boundary of the Test match registered. Oh, absolute beauty. And Sangakkara is a batsman in form, remember, and he was done like a dinner. That's a good shot. That'll go to the boundary. Pretty quick outfield, and the best shot of the morning so far.
Clear example of if you bowl a loose ball, a bit short and a bit wide, then this pitch is going to provide you pace and bounce, and you can just lean on the ball and put it into the gap and pick up good runs. Good stroke from Tauranga.
In the air and over the top, is it? Let's watch the umpire. Yes, it is. He got plenty on that. Good stroke by Sangakkara. He took on Shane Bond, and he needed to get plenty on it because Bond is positioned right on the ropes.
You know, I think for a minute, Nisbo, he might have just been a bit worried. It did go up a little bit quickly for his liking. He tends to hit the ball down. There's two men out.
That's gone through. It was a victory of sorts for the bowler. It wasn't a convincing shot, but he's picked up 4 runs. One of the ironies of cricket, I guess.
There's a little nick there. It's a beauty, and Tauranga's going to go. He walked. And I'm not sure whether Brian Juling was going to give him. Certainly he left before the finger went up, so that's good news for him, but bad news for his team. 27 for 2.
Yes, well, Chris Martin, he was pleading with Brian Juling. Please give it out. He thought he'd hit it. He knew he'd hit it. Those behind the stumps, Brendan McCullum and the slips, they certainly knew. Martin was pleading with Brian Juling, and Tauranga walked off. He's now gone. Another wicket for Chris Martin. Superb bowling this morning for him. He's gone for 7, Tauranga, and it's 27 for 2.
That's magnificent. Gee, he had so much time there. Terrific. pulled away along the ground, and Jacob Oram will haul that in because he is an athlete. They'll get 2, so good cricket all round. It's been sparkling stuff. Brilliant throw. Gee, that's as good as out cricket as you'll get, and it wasn't a bad shot either.
Well, just some superb cricket. Slightly short, pulled away. Jacob Oram does very well. He's a big man, but he is an athlete. Superb fielder. There it is. Taps it inside, and then here we go. Check this out. Not too high off the ground. He's got a great arm, Jacob Oram, right over top of the stumps.
Oh, Bolden chopped it down, cracked him for room. It was poorly executed by J.A. Warner. You've got to say he's a top-class player who was undone by Chris Martin again. And what a morning. What a morning.
Well, he surprised him here, Chris Martin, hasn't he? It's just come back on him, and he really didn't want to play it. Didn't want to play it at all. He just all of a sudden thrown the bat down on top of it. It's got right up the top by the sticker and just gone straight down onto the top of the stumps. Chris Martin delighted. He is certainly bowling very well this morning. And Jaya Wardena, Sri Lankan skipper, on his way for naught. It's 41 for 3.
Just not getting through to mid-on, but they're playing out in front of the body. A wristy sort of a shot. Just wondering where his first run is going to come from. Bad ball. Terrific shot through the covers.
Lovely shot, beautifully played. This is a batsman who is in prime form.
Then again, if you can dispatch a half volley like this, you can put pressure on the bowlers as well. Just look at that extension. He gets out there, makes a positive stride and just leans on it. Doesn't try to overhit it. Looks to time the ball, uses the full face of the bat. And away it goes. Always a fast outfield here at Wellington as well.
Lovely shot. Sangakkara in top form. What's been going on at the other end? He must be asking himself. Fine shot. Lovely shot by Kapugera. It was there. It was a half volley and he put it away. That's a tremendous half century for Kumar Sangakkara to follow his unbeaten 100 in the second innings of the first test in Christchurch. This has been a really outstanding batting by one of the game's top players.
Great delivery, that's in the air and just gone in the gap.
Well, I think they've worked out Kapugera. Out, caught, and they've got it. Very, very similar dismissal, Kapugera, to that in the second innings in Christchurch, playing well away from the body, and a catch to third slip. He was caught in the gully down there. He's caught at third slip now, 81 for 4.
This is a good ball here from Oram because the initial angle was angled in towards the right-hander. Drew the hands into play, and look at that straighten off the pitch. What Kapugera did wrong there was to follow it with the hands and just help it into the slips. Oram elated. Big wicket for New Zealand. They're in amongst them again. Kapugera out for 5. It's 81 for 4.
In the air and just over mid-off. Good bowling from Bond. It was the slower ball. It deceived Sangakkara, but guess what? 4 more. Ooh, that could have gone into the gully, but it's away to the fence instead. And believe me, the slips cordon were interested there.
Not out.
It's a good shout. A very good one for Daniel Vettori to just loosen off the vocal cords. Oh, he's hit that much better. That's a beautiful cricket shot. It's in the air and he'll get 4 for it, but at least it was relatively straight. Come on, at least it was relatively straight.
100 up.
That's close. That's close. My word, that snuck through. It was a quicker one from Vittoria. It was 90k, and it hurried through the defences of young Silva.
It's beaten him. Loose, very, very loose.
Okay.
Last ball before lunch here on day one. And that is a fascinating session. Sri Lanka winning the toss, batting, have lost 4 wickets, but they have scored at over 4 runs and over. And it's been Sangakkara who has absolutely dominated the proceedings and the conversations out in the middle. Martin, the hero for the Black Caps, 3 wickets for 20 from 8 overs.
Bowling to the right-handed Silva.
Oh, yes, Dad, yes, Dad.
Yes, we might see a fair bit of Daniel Vittori in this afternoon session now that Jacob Oram has been forced from the field. Well, that's beautifully played. He's hit it very fine, just inside to the right of the gully, and it picks up a boundary off the last ball of the over, and it's 125 for 4. Makes good contact here, and that's whistled away to the fence. Good stroke, just picked it up, helped it on its way.
Oh, so well controlled. Down on one knee, nice and stable, bang. It was a slightly slow ball. It was bowled from wider of the crease. Look at that in front of square, so well controlled.
Here he comes, and he's got it nicely. Good shot. There's a man down at long on waiting for him to miss it, but he hasn't missed it, and he's put it over the top. A good blow by Chamara Silva.
Gee, a brave blow. Man at long on, all he needed to do was just drag that a bit. He controlled that well with the hands because he wasn't to the pitch at all. So easy to just come through with the bottom hand there and drag that too far to the onside where there was a man waiting. He's hit that very well.
He's got one, and that's all he'll get. As Craig Cumming picks himself up, and or is it Jamie Howard? That's hurt. Now New Zealand have already lost one player today, Jacob Oram. They can ill afford another injury, and that's painful.
Silva got close to him a couple of balls earlier. There's not much you can do there. Oh, that's hit the bony part of the hand. That hurts. I can tell you, it is not pleasant getting hit and close. All these mount. All you can do is really turn and perhaps hope for a rebound catch back to the wicketkeeper if you're lucky.
Oh, it's in the air, and it's on its way down towards the third man boundary, and it should make it. It was a streaky shot, but it's 4 runs nonetheless. And Sangakkara again plays nicely through the covers, and that's gone for 4 as well. And a 150 is registered. Lovely shot again by Sangakkara as he moves into the 90s and is threatening to get a second consecutive century. Too short, and he was able to stand tall and just punch it to the boundary for 4.
Tight one this. If it hits, oh, he was gone. Sangakkara had given up the ghost.
Great running, Skip.
He picks up 2. Matthew Sinclair, the fieldsman, he had given it up. Sangakkara, good pickup. Oh, a long way away though, Matthew Sinclair.
Now, will it go for 4? It'll be his 100th. What a fine 100 from Kumar Sangakkara. Second in succession following his unbeaten 100 in the opening test match at the Jade Stadium. Magnificent innings. Just as good in quality as the one at the Jade Stadium, and just as important.
Well, it caught him a bit by surprise too, Tony. I'm not sure he realised he was on 97, but you're right, absolutely fantastic effort. Sangakkara, 5,000 runs as well.
That's a magnificent stroke. Fantastic. Well, this fella Silver is also now revealing his true colours. Out for a duck in both innings on debut in the first test.
Oh, lovely shot, Sangakkara. That'll run away for 4 more. A little wide from Astle.
He's got it through. So a half century for Chamara Silva. Played very well, played with increasing confidence. Very nervous when he came out, as you would expect. Looking to get off the mark, and there is teammates all saluting him. Well, lucky. Between second slip and gully. Goes for 4, but didn't play it all that well. Sangakkara has a word with him.
A little more bounce, I think, and he's expected here, Silva. In the end, I think the only thing he probably did do well was he got into the gap. He certainly didn't mean to hit the ball in the air. Probably shouldn't have even been playing at it at all, but he did, in the end, at least fend it through the gap. It's a little more bounce than he expected, certainly.
And he could be called just beyond the fielder. Now that was in the air a long time, and in the end, knowing there's a man out there, for a moment, that was a very dangerous and scary time for Sangakkara. He decided deliberately to get under the ball, but a man out on the point boundary for that kind of stroke, and you've got to ask yourself, well, maybe he was in too far.
Healthy edge to second, to first slip, Stephen Fleming. Silver's finally gone just once too often outside the off stump, played away from himself and offered up a catch. Stephen Fleming does not put them down. That is a badly needed wicket for New Zealand.
Well, it's just angled across, but the length was good. It had Silva just groping away from the body, comfortably through to Fleming. So Franklin finally comes up with a delivery that brings him reward and confidence as Silva in his second test match picks up a very good 61. It's 202 for 5. Well, that's well played to get off the mark. A little easy, really. Easy runs for the new batsman. Edged and put down. Oh dear. Now then, McCullum, did he poach it from Fleming? Did it carry? We weren't quite sure of the end result. Super slow-mo will show us. Oh dear. That is a big miss. That is a big miss.
He's almost gone too far. It's got right up and hit high on his glove, almost towards the wrist.
And this one's got more on it, and it's got enough on it to go to the boundary. Oh, no shot. That's a bit dangerous. But he's well forward, but you don't want to try that too often.
No, what Simon Taufel has to weigh up here is, was the ball swinging back in to hit the stumps? The angle previously was taking it across, and the doubt favours the batsman there, and so it should. Another metre to travel.
Oh, he's got an inside edge, and McCullum's done well to stop that. Fair old gap between the bat and the pad here, and the inside edge. Good job by the keeper.
It was a good job. It did not carry. It was about a metre short.
Edge, and this one's gone through. Fleming's after it. It may well get to the boundary. Not quite. And they'll get a couple, and we'll just have to check the replay and see whether that carried.
Well, my gut reaction is with Shane Bond. It carried. I'm looking at the